afternoon everyone. Good afternoon po dito sa UK. It's Sunday, Easter Sunday, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a good day. So today our vlog is about cars. And by the way, welcome to our YouTube channel. Welcome to the car of Nanay and Tatay, Ricardo and Jane, live in the UK. So if you're new to our channel, please do subscribe. And if you like our vlog, please hit the notification bell for new and updated videos, and please share it to your friends. So what we're talking about today is about cars. Like same in other country, you will acquire car in the here in the UK either by buying a brand new car or by buying a second-hand car. So if it's a brand new car, the only requirements would be you have a full UK license, and then of course you have a good credit para makabahay ka ng car mo, or if you have cash, you can buy it in cash as well. So and another thing is if you own a car, you have to have aside from the full UK driving license, you have to have your own insurance and road tax, and because it's a new car, the government assumes that it is roadworthy. So is that right, Tatay?
Yeah.
Only the insurance and full license, and also recovery. Breakdown cover. So it's important that you have a breakdown cover.
That's normally it's integrated in insurance.
So there you are. So because si tatay kasi usually will buy an insurance. So here in the UK, when you buy an insurance, most of the time it's included in the insurance package, where you have a recovery package to go with it. So just in case you stole your car, or you have a breakdown or anything, they usually include at least 3 calls, up to 5 calls per year. So but usually you don't need it anyway, so as long as you maintain your car. So let's go to so with the new car, it's straightforward, but let's go and talk about the second-hand cars. So as you can see, we are in the car. So I do apologize if my video, your vision is a bit shaky because we're on the road driving home, and also the noise. But I'll try my best to discuss with you owning a car here in the UK when it is a second-hand car. So if it's a second-hand car, it's almost the same. Of course, you need a full driving license, full UK driving license. You can also buy a car if you have an international license, but very limited ang pwede nilang i-offer sa iyo. Of course, your good credit scoring, or if you're buying it in cash, that's not a problem, buying a car here in the UK. So the few requirements is when you're maintaining a car is to make sure that you have, as I've said, with a new car, you should have a insurance, full insurance, and that includes the breakdown and road tax, which is all car users or all car owners pay in using maintenance of the road. And then another thing is the MOT. So MOT is a government requirement, wherein your car has to be checked that it is roadworthy every year. And this only applies after, let's say, you buy your car from new, so it's a brand new car, you just take out from the garage, and after your third year, on your third year, you have to have it tested, or you have to have it checked before you could take it out of the road. So okay, let's say your MOT will expire, let's say, month from today. So from month from today, you should be thinking of an appointment. You should be booking an appointment for your car to be seen, or to be seen in the garage, so that they could check the roadworthiness of your car. So if you pass that due date, you're only allowed to drive your car on the road when you pre-booked it in a garage to be tested. You're not allowed to drive it out if your car is not been MOT. Police will have a record because it is a national database record. So if the police are on the road and they were checking road users or drivers or the cars, they would know because it's in the national list. So all cars whose expires MOT, it will plug up to their system, and they could penalize you 6 to 9 points of your license, UK license, or they could penalize you by paying from 60 to 1,000 pounds, or worst comes to worst, they could take your car and put it in a junk shop. So put it in a junk. So you have I'm sorry, it's very bright. So or you can have the 3 actually. So you have to make sure that you have your car MOT yearly once you pass the 3 years. Now you're going to ask, is it also the same? Is it 3 years when you buy a second-hand car? No, only on a brand new car that they would allow you to have to not to attend MOT for the first 2 years, and then on your 3rd year you have to have an MOT, because they were assuming that on the first 2 years of the lifespan of the car, it's still worthy to go to the road, it's still safe. So and after the 3 years, it will be considered that you have to have it checked it every year. So now, if you're buying a car, if you're thinking of buying a car, you're first time buyer, if you're thinking to buy a second-hand car and you're thinking, oh, now I have to ask whether the car is been MOT before I buy it. Well, it's a bonus if you will buy a car. Usually here in the UK, if they're selling a second-hand car, or if you buy it in a garage and it's a second-hand car, they usually do the MOT. So you have a year of safety certificate of that car. But sometimes you would see na you only have 6 months left, but then that's when your bargaining would come on to when you're buying a car. You could just you could just ask the seller, can you just put it for MOT so at least I have a year. So just be careful when you're buying a car to make sure that your MOT, you still have enough months MOT'd on that car certificate before you buy it. But saying that, they could still sell the car without the MOT. So it's all up to you. If you think the car is worth buying without the MOT, and you're very knowledgeable with the cars, with the engines and everything, and you are confident that even without the MOT certificate, this car will pass, then buy it by all means. But it's really important if you're like me or like us who knows how to drive the car, a little bit of know-how in the car but not an expert, then it's better that you bought the car with MOT, or ask them to MOT first before you'll buy it, because you will never know what will come out of that test. So again, they could sell a car without MOT, and then it's up to you as a buyer to book an MOT before you drive it home. Because as I've said, you're not allowed to drive the car out of your house, or you're not allowed to drive the car in the road if it's not MOT'd, unless otherwise it's going to the garage for the pre-booked MOT test. So now, what is included in the MOT? So with the MOT, as I've said, it is a government advisory or a government requirement that the car should be safe to be on the road. So first, it checks the emission. So it goes on an emission test, and then you will be given a report after the MOT of how much carbon it emits. And if you need to change a filter or anything like that to improve the emission, or either you just failed it totally. and you can't do anything about it, especially when you already bought the car. So oops, I'm sorry. Heartbreaking. So you haven't got a choice. You just have to return it if they accept it, or you just scrap the car totally. So that's why it's important that when you buy a car, it's got an MOT. Another thing is the wiper, the oil, the water in the tank. They check that. They check the tires, most especially the tires, the pressure in the tires. With the tires, they would give you an advice for the right thickness. So if it's not thick enough, or the thread is already wearing off, they would tell you na immediately you have to change it. If the garage feels that it's not already safe to be on the road, they would not let you drive the car home unless you change it right there and then. So actually, they're very strict because they know that if they pass that certificate and they let you drive and you had an accident, and after investigation they found that it's because of these tires, or it's because of this wiper, or it's because of the pressure of the tire, or it's because there's no water in the engine or anything like that, they know it will come back to them. So they are very strict when it comes to MOT. So another thing that they check is the light. You have they check the right brightness, the right level, so that you are not a hazard to other driver, and also to make sure that you see what you're driving. You're seeing the road when you're driving in darkness. So that's the other thing that they check. They do check as well the seat belt, most especially the seat belt, if it's still working when it goes on full stop. Because at the end of the day, if you have a good brake but you don't have a good seat belt, when you do a hard braking in case of accident, you'll just go flying out of your windscreen. So they have to check the seat belt. Of course, the important part is the brake. They have to check the brake pad. So if it's not passable, again, like with the tire, they're not going to let you drive the car out of the garage. They'll just ask you to change it right there and then, and you just come back as soon as it's finished, or as soon as they replace it. So yeah, I've already mentioned the brake disc. So meron na naman na, I already have someone here murmuring again, but he doesn't want to speak in front of the camera. This is a problem, you see. So another thing that they check would be the airbag. So if it's working, or sometimes there are people who are naughty that they already taken out the airbag and then just pop it back in. So they check that as well to make sure that when you need it, it's there and it will work. So they do check that as well. They do check the steering wheel, if it's aligned, or all those things that they check. And again, these are safety measures that is put in place by the government, so that accident will be what do you call that? I wouldn't say eradicated, because there will always be an accident, but less chances of you having an accident because of a faulty car. So even if you're buying a second-hand car, the government still want to make sure that you are safe, because you're driving a roadworthy car. So it's important that you attend your MOT and make sure that when you buy a car, it has a long months of MOT. So don't be just looking for a nice car, or just looking for the age of the car, or the exterior of the car. Make sure that you review the MOT. Usually here in the UK, they have they got MOT history, so you could see what are the parts that have been taken out, what are the parts that have been changed, that has been changed already, and how often it's been changed. So you could see the common problem of the car, and you know exactly what you're buying into. So that's how we do here in the UK. I don't know in other countries, it might be the same. You might have the same way, or you might have a strict what do you call this, strict government requirements in place. But here in the UK, that's what we have. So also when you're buying a car, you make sure here in the UK that you space. That's another thing that you consider, because parking space or parking lot would translate to your insurance. So if you don't have a parking space, your insurance will be definitely higher. If your parking is road parking, that will also add up to your insurance. But if you have a safe parking place, then you probably will have a less expenditure when it comes to insurance. Another thing is your driving history. So if you are a driver in the UK and you have encountered quite a few accidents, then your insurance will shoot up as well. So even if you buy a new car, but if you have a history of having an accident, then your insurance will shoot up as well. It will be more expensive. And then, sorry?
New driver.
Yes, also if you are a new driver, let's say you come in here and you're using your international driving license, which they accept for a year upon arrival. They would accept that because they do respect that you are a professional driver from the country of your origin, and they would accept that for a year. I'm sorry, it's a bit shaky. It's a shaky road, no? It's a winding, shaky road. So they do appreciate that you are a professional driver in your country. So they would let you drive here in the UK if you are confident. They would let you drive here in the UK for a year. But after a year, they expect you to pass the UK driving test to carry on driving here in the UK. So if you are a new driver, so even if you are a professional driver in your country and you're carrying with you your professional license for a year, unfortunately, you still have to pay a high insurance, because the UK government doesn't know whether you're a good driver or not, or if you are a safe driver. Not a good driver, but if you are a safe driver. So that's why the insurance is quite high. Especially, it also goes with the new passers. So those who are just passed their driving test, and sometimes most of them are young. So the government feels that they still need more experience in driving UK roads. So hence the premium or the amount that you pay is still high. But you know, the years of driving does benefit, because your insurance will definitely go down. The price will go down, and if you don't have any accident, it will go down. So the insurance will be affected by your age and driving history. So that's the way it goes here in the UK. Is there anything that I forgot?
And the other thing is the value of your car. Obviously, if you're driving a Ferrari or a very expensive sports car, your insurance will also go
yes.
up.
So also the emission. You know, if you're driving a car with high emission rate,
That's road tax.
yeah, that's the road tax. But it's important that they change the filter, isn't it, or they just scrap it. No. What else did we forget about?
That's about it.
That's about the.
You mentioned about the young driver, international driver, expensive car.
Yes, the expensive cars. Of course, you know, if you're rich, then you pay
A lot more.
you pay a lot more because you can afford to buy an expensive car. And of course, if it's an expensive car and if you have an accident, of course, you know, the insurance will pay more in the body repair, or you know, whatever the cost that needs to be settled when it comes to covering that insurance. So that's why it's more expensive if you're driving an expensive car. But of course, if you got a lot of money, you know, it won't hurt the bank with you, because you can afford to buy an expensive car. So of course you could pay a premium for your insurance. So I'm sorry, I think it's really difficult for you to see me because it's a little bit bumpy. So I hope this helps you understand how we maintain cars here in the UK, or how we maintain cars when it comes to driving it out on the road. And also for those who are just planning to buy a car, these are the things that you have to consider when you're buying a car. Either it's a new car or it's a second-hand car. But of course, you know, no one would question you with whichever you want to buy. As long as you know all the information that you need to know for the car. So make sure you read the car history, the MOT history of the car if it's a second-hand car. And if it's a brand new car, you know, if there's any problem, they have a guarantee where you could return the car, I guess. So replace all the car. Replace the car. You know, if you're not happy with the car, you could return it and replace and let them replace it. Or if there's something needs changing parts wise within the 2 years or 3 years.
Depending on your warranty, depending on the car brand. Some of them have 5 years warranty, like the Kia.
Like the Kia, they have 7 years warranty. So you know, I don't know. Although I don't know what's included in their warranty, but always make sure that when you buy a car, you check the inclusions.
Yeah,
even with the second-hand cars, when you buy second-hand cars in a reputable garage, there would always be an inclusion. Some of them, they would give you, okay, I'll give you 6 months warranty if it's breakdown, if there's anything changing, just, you know, come back to us, we'll sort it, or, you know, you could replace it with another car. So because they trust their product, they trust, even if it's a second-hand car, they trust their product, that they tested it and it's roadworthy and there's nothing wrong with it. So they're very confident that they could you could surpass that what they call that,
selling quality car.
Yeah, so that you could surpass that time that you could return it, or you know, it will break down. Of course, the wear and tear is not part of the warranty.
Clutch and brake.
Yeah, clutch and brake. So I think that's all. So always remember, read what's in the manual. I know sometimes it's difficult to read the small print, especially when you already fallen in love with the car that you want, the casing of the car or the body of the car especially, or the brand of the car that you want. But always remember to read the small print, and also remember to know your right as a customer and know what's the inclusion when you buy the car, and the history of the car if it's a second-hand car. So I hope you've learned something from us today. It's a very short vlog, but it just made me realize, because we just had a friend who bought a car and asked us for advice on what car they're going to buy. But actually, it's not the what car, it's the quality of the car. That we're not an expert, but you just have to go to a reputable garage. So how would you know that it's a reputable garage? You read through the reviews. Yes, the actual reviews. Kasi more often now, people will put reviews if they're not happy, and people will put good reviews if they are happy. And these are actual reviews, ano. And also your word of mouth. Some people would highly recommend a place where to buy a car. So I think it's same if you are in the Philippines, the same in the Philippines. You although you like the car, but if you're not a mechanic, or you don't know anything about the car, you rely on the salesman, isn't it? But it's not always the good thing to do. So, but here in the UK, if there's any problem, even if it's a second-hand car, if there's any problem, you could just come back to them and tell them what's wrong with it. Because even if it's a second-hand car, you have this what do you call that, consumer rights. So you are protected in a way. So I hope you like this video, and I hope you learned something from us today, and I hope you're having a good Easter. So bye from us sa bahay ni Nanay at Tatay, Ricardo and Jane Life in the UK. So if you like this video, please do subscribe and share it with your friends. Bye!
Hmm?